Hello, this is Solomon Davis, Right Side Trader. Today is May 6, 2023, and this is my weekly market review where I'm reviewing the Dow 30 on a quarterly chart, monthly chart, weekly chart, and a daily chart. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendations here. As we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please get educated. Please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other and make sure trading is something that is actually suitable for you. Let's just jump right over in here and take a quick look and see what I'm seeing here in the market. The Dow has been the bullish one, but hasn't been going anywhere. That's the whole thing. It's just been hanging out there at the top below its high of a year ago, and just giving some pretty good levels to actually trade at. But let's zoom on in here and take a closer look and see what's been going on this past week and where we're at in the market at this time. Here on the quarterly chart, we can see, last quarter we ended up with a doji. Was expecting I was kind of we ended up closing above pivot. So again, I look for it to stay above pivot. And right now, so far we are staying above pivot. We have made a higher low. The thing is, can we make a higher high and end up breaking this last quarter high? The quarter of last year, the last quarter of last year, can we break that high? Is what I'm looking for here on the quarterly chart. So that's what I'm seeing there. So far, we are staying green. So far, we're staying above the 10. And let's just see what happens if this thing can keep edging up higher. And all here on the monthly chart, on the DIA, this month right now, is looking kind of red. And our stochastic is getting near a top. So this is at a point where if you are in any Dow trades, in this particular Dow trade on the index, is just the point where you start managing the trade. You need to lock in your profit, make sure this thing is not going to turn over on you and start making a drift to the downside and come back down here if you didn't get out already. But I can see that it is staying again above pivot. It's staying below resistance 1 level, and gives me a nice trading range for other trading strategies that I do. But again, it's going sideways. It's not going anywhere. Any swing trades, it can be short intra-week type swing trades, maybe to the downside or to the upside, but those things are kind of hard to do when the market is not trending. So I kind of tend to stay away from those at this time. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the weekly chart. See, but here on the weekly chart, you can see when the stochastic gives you a nice bottom, you do get a nice run to the upside. You can see when the stochastic is at the top. It didn't really give you that big of a run to the downside, though. But it came to the bottom again. It gave you a nice little run to the upside. It gave you a nice pattern down here, a bullish harami, and all. It gave you a nice pattern down here. This is a big pattern down here on this morning star. So would you have taken your confirmation candle as this candle, or would you have to wait until it gets above this candle to take your confirmation? If you waited on that, by the time it did that, the stochastic on this particular time frame was already at the top. So again, it comes down to you and your trading strategy, what you're going to actually do and how you're going to manage your trades and how you're going to have your entries and exits, and managing your trades once it does reach a target. And it's all based on your plan. But again, here on this weekly chart, we are up. This is where I have my 50 and my 200. We dipped below that 50. I was looking for it to stay above that 50. We did dip below that 50 back here, and right now we are staying above that 50 and all. And look like this market doesn't want to come back down here and test this again. We got our 50s beginning to turn to the upside. We need to see what's going to happen here on the stochastic here and see if we're going to start going sideways up here at the top. Like I say, this is a point where you start managing your trade. You make sure you get your stop in place. You lock in some of that profit that you've gotten, and just ride it if it's going to actually break these tops and go higher. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the daily noise, I call it. It's since this is my small time frame on these review, it's the noisiest one in my opinion. The beginning of the week, we had last week, we had this big push up on Thursday, Friday. Then come on Monday, we end up getting this topping pattern, inverted hammer at a top, actually red. is a bearish looking market and all, and it did end up giving us a gap down, a reversal pattern and all, and it came down pretty good all the way down to a support 2 level and bounce. So that was Thursday. Thursday, I remember we was looking at something else. Somebody had actually played this to the downside, not this particular index, but one of the other indexes looked exactly the same way, and they got out of their short position, and I asked them did they put their long position on. They didn't put their long position on because we hadn't made it all the way to the bottom that we thought it could go to, even on the other index. Even on this one, seemed like these downward legs are getting shorter and shorter. This was a pretty good one. It did end up breaking this previous low over here, but it bounced right off of a pivot. This is a weekly pivot, like I say, a support 2 level, and just like it just the computers were programmed and saying time to buy, and push this thing back up at the end of the day, and then the next day this thing ended up gapping up higher and going higher. But that's all I really want to share. Get where you can see, these simple indicators that I'm showing here. There's other additional indicators that I actually use, but candle patterns and these couple simple indicators can take you a long way. They are not the golden goose. They are not, that magic wand that you have been looking for. They do not work all the time, but they're a good place to start looking at the market. That's all I really want to share. This is Solomon, Right Side Trader. Hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys are having a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next week. Have a good one. Bye.